Yeah. So I'm stuck with the CVT. Fine. Let's get this out of the way. This is a 2019 Honda CR-V Touring, which is the top trim level. And unfortunately, it comes with a CVT transmission, and I'm stuck with it.
And it has all-wheel drive. So don't forget.
Yep, it has all-wheel drive, which is not a fully fledged all-wheel drive. It actually doesn't send a lot of power to the back, but it works for winter.
It's front-wheel biased, so it's pretty good. It'll work in the winter. You won't get stuck, so it does a job.
But as a CUV, this one has a major flaw. There's no hill descent control, and there's no off-road modes.
It has no change in any of your traction modes whatsoever, other than
fully
sport
automatic
and
not even
eco.
Sport. It's just eco, and then the gearbox can go into sport, and that's about it.
Oh, the econ button right here, right?
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
That just
my bad.
Numbs up the throttle, so from slow it becomes slower. I have the 2019 Rav4 Limited. And it also has all-wheel drive, and it's also around the same price point as this bad boy right here. So the CR-V is 39,090 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, mine's 40,000 and was it 450?
$40,690.
Close enough.
So it's 1,500, let's say, over this one.
Right.
Well worth it though, because your transmission is a
8-speed automatic. Thank God. I can't stand CVTs.
So neither cars have paddle shifters, but yours has a plus-minus sequential mode on the gearbox.
You just shove it over and you can go 1-2, 1-2, and
3-4 maybe at some point.
Yeah, but the other thing is that you can also go off-road.
Yes, because it has the multi-terrain select, which allows you to select sand, mud, rock, snow. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
But it also has hill descent control.
Yep.
And it also has a very clever mirror, so you can look behind you when you load the car with all your off-road gear and you can't see through the window anymore.
Yep.
You can just switch the thing. It's like a Cadillac, really, right? So it's pretty cool.
I tested it out when I bought my Weber.
Isn't it
awesome? I plugged it in, and I was like, hey, I can still see.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We'll show you a picture of Steve with the Weber inside the car.
And a big smiley face. I was really happy. First Weber.
And this is not a Weber advert.
No, they didn't plug this.
However, if you want Weber,
I'm just really excited.
So what do we think of looks? I mean, obviously the RAV4 is the newer car. The CR-V has been around for longer.
Nah, the RAV4 looks way better. It's got the bigger grille. It's more aggressive looking, more streamlined lights. It's got the 19-inch rims. I like it way better.
I think the CR-V it has an elegance to it, but I agree the RAV4 looks nicer. How about inside?
I like the RAV4 a bit better, to be honest.
So for me, the CR-V looks a little bit more luxurious at first sight, but then, I don't know, the materials feel that they're kind of like, there's a top layer of luxury, but then underneath it's all like plastic and hollow and not really good. Whereas the RAV4 gives me a feeling that everything is more solid, although I have found some fit and finish issues. And I hate the fact that when you move the window, when you like open and shut it, like this one doesn't really do it, but the RAV4 has like a very obvious, like the door card moves in and out and is like ridiculous.
Dude, kick the door.
I mean,
what the?
Yeah.
Really?
Sure. Both cars
$40,000 car. You're gonna do that?
Yeah, but they both start at like high 20s, so
whatever.
That's unchanged.
Yeah.
How about roominess?
I'm pretty roomy in this actually. I like the fact that the dash has been pushed back a little bit. I got a lot more leg room that I can kind of move around in.
This feels more airy. I think the RAV4, because the dash is more tilted backwards, it feels a bit more sporty.
But do you know what adds to that? The pano sunroof.
Yes, this is it's actually a massive difference, and I don't think you can get a pano sunroof in the RAV4.
It's not an option, no.
Yeah.
At least when I checked on the
this is an upgrade for the touring model. So if you get anything else, you get a regular standard sunroof. Do not buy a two-wheel drive either one of these.
Oh, please don't.
Okay? If you're buying a crossover, you buy all-wheel drive. The reason is, crossover is high up. By a two-wheel drive, you're going to be spinning tires all day long. So do not buy two-wheel drive. Even if you're in the city, even blah, 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 four-wheel drive. Thanks.
What do you think of the stereo on this thing? All honesty.
It's okay up to a certain volume.
It
like
sucks.
Half, but then as it gets louder, it's not very good.
It sucks. Okay?
Yeah.
If you turn up the volume a little bit and you're paying top trim level, and I'm sorry, you guys did a terrible job, Honda, to giving this thing a top-of-the-line speaker system. The Toyota's got a JBL sound system, and that pumps. It is crisp, it is clean, it is loud, it is fantastic. It adds to the experience. But I don't know, this really disappointed me in this car.
What about the actual infotainment here? So
I like the infotainment in here. I think it works really well.
Have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Correct.
They both have built-in navigation.
Base. They both come with it base. You don't have to pay extra for it.
Yeah, that's good. They both have volume knobs, so even the Honda now has an actual knob. So
I got a knob right next to me.
Matches you. I think usability-wise and everything, both cars have pretty much the same. The RAV4 edges the CR-V because of the mirror, so that's like the extra technology you get. They both have the lane keep and warning assist. They have adaptive cruise. So technology, they're really on par, even with the safety systems. They both did pretty well in the crash test. So
and they work really well.
They're good.
They're not slow at all. So
both cars have a 60-40 split rear seat. The tailgates open pretty wide. They both have power tailgates with the kick function. They're on par. Like the RAV4, the trunk is 1,064 liters. The CR-V is 1,065.
Did you find any surprises in the trunk?
Yeah, I like the CR-V, how you can lower the floor. It does create a little step when you actually fold all the seats, but I like how it's, it gives you that versatility. Although I really don't know why you'd put the floor up, but whatever.
I didn't get that. I really didn't.
Which car would be better for a family?
They're both good. They can both fit baby seats in there. You can have booster chairs in there. Kids fit nicely. There's tons of room. The leg room's there for both. I don't think there's really a huge difference, but I think in the RAV4, because it's a little bit more elongated, I think you'll have just that.
The wheelbase is like this much longer in the RAV4.
But it makes a difference.
The difference that I find is that the CR-V on the road is a little bit quieter. The RAV4
but that's because
has some more wind noise.
No, hang on a second. No, I think you're wrong. I think this one's louder because of all the road noise and the crappy tires they put on it. The Hankooks on this thing are terrible.
But the RAV4 is much more comfortable. The ride comfort, RAV4 wins.
The seats are plushier, the ride is smoother, the bumps are soaked up better, even the handling is crisper. But I mean, all that aside, you're just gonna like being in the RAV4 more, at least from my opinion, than.
Can we go be in the RAV4 right now?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of there. All right, 8-speed auto. No more. Come on, this is a duet. Yeah. So that's what the CR-V sounds like most of the time. And it doesn't even have a good enough stereo to play it loud enough to hide that. You got a good point. Why don't they make it quieter?
I don't know. They could. Nissan and Subaru did it. Nissan and Subaru have better CVTs, I find.
So what's the first thing that you notice when you jump into the RAV4 after the CR-V?
My butt feels really nice and
it's a more comfortable ride.
Yep. It's smoother, it's softer, it's fluffy.
So refinement goes to the RAV4. Doesn't it also feel sturdier, like the whole steering and driving position and the whole
I don't know why you say that. I honestly don't. I think they're the same.
Sturdier.
I don't.
A bit more butch.
Both feel.
The CR-V feels kind of light on its feet. This one feels a bit slower to respond to all inputs, but this feels rock solid.
Maybe it's because of all the hair on your palms.
Maybe. Heroin in my palms?
Heroin?
You say hair or heroin?
Shut up.
Under the hood of this thing is a 2.5 liter engine. It's naturally aspirated, no turbo. The CR-V has a 1.5 liter turbo.
190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque.
This one has 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. Which one do you think is going to be faster? 0 to hundreds coming up. So the RAV4 edged the CR-V by 0.3 of a second to 100.
Yep. I thought that was going to happen because you can tell. The CR-V doesn't feel like it'll take off quick enough. Transmission's holding it back.
However, this one also edged it in fuel economy by also 0.3 of a liter.
Yeah, I was going to say I was surprised, but typically your CVT is supposed to be better on gas in theory.
And smaller displacement engine.
But
hold on. Did you just notice that jerk? That's the one thing I hate about this car.
You know what? Yeah. So when I was going home, I didn't know what you were talking about. I thought, what is Jason saying about this?
You didn't know what I was talking about.
What are you talking about? I'm coming off a cold, and this guy's just... Anyway, so I was like, okay, let me come to a stop. I'm going to give it some gas. So it didn't do this time.
As you're about to come to a complete stop, try it. Try it.
I just did. Look.
No, you went too fast. As you're about... No, not yet. No, still too fast. Slow down. More. No. Slow down more. It's like the half kilometer an hour mark. And then if you go back on the gas, it just jerks. Like, whoa. It's like the transmission's like, okay, I can go to sleep now. And then right before it's about to sleep, it goes, oh, okay, let's wake up and let's go. Like it's... See? There you go. You feel that?
But that's typical Toyota tranny, though. That's how they do it.
I don't know.
I've owned 4 Toyotas, and they all did the same thing.
In stop and go traffic, though, that is freaking annoying. Like my kids spilled freaking juice on them because they're like, Daddy, and like, sorry, it wasn't me. Stupid transmission.
Typically not supposed to roll through like stops.
No, it was stop and go traffic, not stop signs.
Like
See?
that
Again.
But that's not so bad. I mean,
you get used to it, I guess, but it's just annoying.
I'm used to it.
So
I don't really think
transmission
about it much.
smoothness goes to the CVT, obviously, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Performance in general, though, the RAV4 is faster, but you really need to work it hard. So the maximum torque of 184 pound-feet actually comes at 5,000 RPM. That means you have to be redlining this RAV4 the whole time to get like the maximum performance out of it. So I have to admit that when you're like regularly driving, city driving, whatever, the CRV feels like it picks up and it goes easier than the RAV4.
Even on around the Turners.
Tina Turners. The RAV4 has torque vectoring control. And you're going to notice that if you hammer the throttle mid-turn, it kind of feels like there's a magnetic force that keeps you turning. It almost feels like torque steer. It's a weird thing.
I'm going to try it right now. Okay?
So
ready?
come to a complete stop at the top. Stop.
Just stop?
Okay.
Now hammer it?
So stop. Start going. When you start turning, hammer it.
Yeah, you're right.
Didn't it pull you in?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Totally.
So it's kind of weird because when
That's
you're like
cool.
in an
But you're not
intersection-
expecting that.
Exactly. So you're in an intersection. You take off as fast as you can, and then you're like, what's happening to my car? Why is it still going that way?
So it's nice how
weird.
Subaru does it, though.
So, handling goes to the RAV4.
Check.
Ride comfort, RAV4.
Check.
Refinement, RAV4.
Check.
Interior roominess, space, whatever,
CRV.
CRV. Fuel economy,
RAV4.
RAV4.
Check.
Looks,
RAV4.
RAV4. Equipment,
They're both equal.
you get terrain response in the freaking mirror.
I
RAV4.
find RAV4.
I mean, okay, it's $1,500 more, but you know, what's $1,500 in front of $40,000?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Plus, you get the Yoda reliability in this one,
True.
whereas in the Honda,
Very true.
who knows? Towing capacity. So both cars, properly equipped with hitches and everything, will tow 1,500 pounds.
So it can't tow you.
Oh, this one has wireless charging. The CRV does not.
That's right.
But this one has a manual passenger seat. The driver's
that's
10
ghetto.
away. Yeah, well, whatever. F the passenger. So what's the coolest feature about the CRV?
The coolest?
Like the one selling point. If you'd say, buy the CRV because... What's the coolest selling point about the RAV4? Buy the RAV4 because...
It's got wireless charging. No?
So does my night table.
It's got a kick-ass sound system?
Yeah, that's a good point. Plus, I would say buy the RAV4 because it's probably the most well-rounded crossover in the segment.
And you can take it off-road.
True. You also have a trail edition of it, which is like built for off-road. However, if driving characteristics and interior quality and design are like the biggest things you're looking for,
If you want like a really fancy interior.
you should buy
The Mazda CX-5.
Signature with the turbo. It's only about $1,000 more than the RAV4.
But it's a little tighter.
It's much tighter, I would say. So if roominess is also pretty big, then you have to look elsewhere.
So, who wins? I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
I think we both like this one better.
the red pill. RAV4 takes it all.
Yeah. Out of 10?
8.5.
Really?
And the CRV would be an 8. I think.
Yeah.
'Cause then-
Well, what is that? What's a 9 then?
The CX-9, the CX-5.
Fine. Okay. I can agree with that. Yep.
So if you're in this segment shopping, first winner would be the CX-5, but it is pretty tight. So if roominess is the most important thing, then you go for the Rav4. If you don't want a Toyota or whatever, then CRV.
Yep. Fist bump.
Chaos. Does chaos need a V?
Chaos is just
that
chaos.
chaos?
You
Chaos.
don't need to talk about chaos in this video.
Because
I don't know
in Greek,
why.
you say to chaos.
Perfect.